Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show, Korero. I am your regular host, Nkamiang John, the beloved, also known as the controversial. Today on this edition of the show, we will be taking a closer look at the ongoing political chess game in Rivers State. Yes, talking about the Supreme Court's Fubara's counterattack and, of course, Nigeria's looming democratic crisis as far as what is playing out in Rivers State is concerned. But before we get into it, just to remind you that the show is live and interactive on all our social media platforms, and you can be part of the conversation simply by following and liking Rapid TV on Facebook, on X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, IG, and of course we are also on LinkedIn and TikTok. Don't forget our WhatsApp portal line is also open and available for you to interact and engage with us on the show. The number to call is 0916-771-6035. You can use that portal to engage us, okay? 0916-771-6035. Now, the Supreme Court ruling must have felt like the final whistle to the Nyesom Wike's camp. His loyalists likely popped champagne, thinking the game was over. But they seem to forget that Rivers State has its own judiciary. While Wike's hand-picked assembly members flex their newfound Supreme Court-backed power, Fubara's commissioners and the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission chairman, Justice Adolphus Enebili, retired, decided to prove a point. And what is that point, one may ask? Port Harcourt, no be Lagos. That's the point they have proven, that Port Harcourt is not Lagos. They stormed to the state court and slapped the assembly with a lawsuit. They demand a court order blocking the assembly from interfering with their appointments and duties. And guess what? The state court delivered swiftly and sharply. So, let's get to hear from, will I call him the puppet master, as the case may be, the current minister to the FCT in the person of Nyesom Wike, former governor of Rivers State, who has made bold to say that he made Fubara. He made him governor. And as long as Fubara chooses not to play ball in the way and manner he decides, Rivers State will not see peace. Let's hear from Nyesom Wike.
Said the Governor Richard, you have had a frosty relationship with an arm of government. If you're a good politician, is this you go write later? Hold on. If you're a good politician, you have had a frosty relationship with me for how many years? I've never sat down with you. I've never spoken with you. You steal my salaries. You steal my allowances. Guaranteed by law. You took it. No problem. Now you won a court of appeal. It didn't even occur to you. Even though I won a court of appeal, I still want peace. The matter went to Supreme Court. And Supreme Court now gave judgment. Then the next thing we do, that you want to implement, who says no? Is it by writing letter? And who signed the letter? A bloody SSG. Who signed letter to a head of arm of government? What an insult is that? You are telling me here, Secretary to government will sign letter to the President of Senate or to Speaker of the House of Representatives. The President is coming to President Biden. Is it right? It is done.
What should he have done?
If you're a politician, you know what to do. Assuming you want to go through that route, what is normally done? You call the leadership and say, listen, this is where we are. This is where we are. I want to present this budget back to you. They agree. Okay. Let's look at it. next week will be okay for us. You are not the one to write that I'm coming to present budget tomorrow. Who does that? No, who does that? You went to play to the gallery that you wrote a letter, which is rubbish. I have been in government. I don't just write a letter to Mr. Speaker. I'm coming to present budget tomorrow morning. I tell your children, do you know their engagement? All this is done is to tell you that I'm sincere. Mr. Speaker, where are you? Are you at home? Can you come? Can I come? Can we talk? And they agree on something. And then Mr. Speaker will go back and call his colleagues. Listen, Mr. Governor called me. I met with him. He said, look, he wants to present budget so day. It's okay. Monday, Tuesday. But Speaker, you know that our schedule is so tight. Okay, no, let us accommodate. That's how things are done. All these letters you are writing is useless. You are not sincere. You are playing to the gallery. Everybody knows you are not sincere. You are playing to the gallery. A true politician will not do that way. Let me tell you, Mr. President was to present budget to the National Assembly. Assembly people were not happy for one thing or the other. We met in ESCO, and they said, oh, they've shifted it to the next day. Why? He had to meet with leadership to agree some gray areas. He doesn't need to write letter. A man who does not want peace is a man who is playing to the gallery. Writing a letter, I've written letter. Written letter to who? To your son? After a forced relationship, you have suffered their families. They cannot pay their children's school fees. Their money they are entitled. Court gave order, you cannot stop their money. You had a penchant of disobeying court orders. This is a country where, I have never, we like things that somebody is doing something wrong. Instead of you to come out to say, look, what you are doing is wrong. You go and capture, oh, it is a social political opponent. What kind of rubbish is that? Must you not have opponent? In politics, must you not have opponent? Is there any law that says in politics, everybody must queue behind you? So what is all this? Oh, his opponent. So what? If you give your opponent opportunity to make you unstable, then you will be unstable. You will be. There's no law. After all, there are also people who are working against Tinubu's administration. So Tinubu cannot come and complain. My opponents are working against his opponents. Did they tell him that they will make him to be comfortable? Who does that? Can you present the budget? You are presenting to 3 people now. So the budget is there. It's not as if you are going to do it. Okay, carry it. Come on, we are ready to work with you.
But
for the interest,
I'm
coming. What? When you say automatic, I say within 48 hours, submit your budget. What is substitute? No, I can't be ready by 48 hours. Give me 1 week. What is wrong in that? Why are we always capitalizing on things that if we really want the peace of the state, why are you picking on things that will not help? If the legislature says, we are going on recess for the interest of the state, if you can present the budget with you for them, because we are living on recess, have they not done well? All you would have done as a sincere person is to say, look, no, it's too urgent for me. Can you people shift your recess? Give me 1 week. That's how people do things. You don't just come out, why should I give up to my job? Who the hell are you? Well, no. Listen. Who the hell are you? The governor is not sincere. I never knew he's this kind of character. Let me tell you, Supreme Court said that no 3 members can sit and legislate for the state. You took your Attorney General, Commissioner, for these 3 members to screen. And the Supreme Court said it's not possible. And the Assembly people said, look, submit the list of members of your cabinet. We are willing to screen them. Instead of us to applaud them, you are saying, why should they give time limit? I'm traveling. I want to do it now before I travel. What's wrong in that? If they're intelligent, Governor, they gave you 48 hours. Governor, tell them 48 hours is not enough. I need 1 week. You don't go and begin to sow seed of discord. You don't do that. As they are now, they are hot. It is in your place to say, look, I know you're hot. I'm sorry. See what has happened. Don't act as if you're a father. Now, what they did, when the assembly said, submit list, he now told his commissioners to go to court. The commissioners went to court, challenging the assembly that we cannot live as commissioners after Supreme Court has given judgment on this matter.
Is that a fact?
It's the truth. They went to State High Court. Of course, you know, the worst State High Court today we have is the State High Court. Look, I respect court judgment. I do. How would I look like as a life bencher? I perpetrate in disobeying court orders. Do you know you ought to commend us for challenging illegality? How many states can do that? How many states can tell their governor what they do is wrong? In our state, we say no. 3 people cannot constitute an assembly. 3 people cannot appropriate funds for you to spend. You have to commend us. You said who can do it? They would have bought the assembly members. And I said, no, we are not prisoners of war. Well, we are not. And that's why the assembly said, look, you can't continue to do this. Let me go and buy them. They will not agree. The right thing, hold on, the right thing must be done. And we challenge illegality. Today we are happy that Supreme Court has made a pronouncement. The Apex Court has made a pronouncement. Who is wrong? Who is right? Commend those who challenge illegality. Don't commend those who said we will do anything that's wrong. The Speaker and Assembly members are not their children. You must have a relationship with them. I sit with them. We eat together. We drink together. We play together. They're not your boys. They're not your girls. They were elected, as you were also elected. Some of them, it was through the election that made you to win the election. So you must not treat them as if they're my boys. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. Legislature is a different arm of government. It's not an attached to executive arm. So you must be careful. I see that I traveled my legislature. I do. As I'm traveling, as the Mr. Speaker, can I have 3, 4, 5 members to accompany me for this trip? It's a building relationship. The president travels. He said, look, call me so senator. Call me so House of Representatives. I wanted to join me in my trip. You create relationship. It's not a master-servant thing. You cannot do it. If you have been doing it before, you succeeded, does not mean today you will succeed. And the world, you see, we are moving to a world that you cannot try it. And the problem the governor has today, those around him who are milking him, they have milked the state. And governor said it yesterday. I thought he should have said on his point, said the parties, that the money they have spent. No, I didn't spend that kind of money. No way. None of my lawyers told me you are going to pay this. Well, you must have a good relationship with people. Goodwill pays a lot.
All right,
and that's what paid for us. It's because we have good relationship with our lawyers. No lawyer say you must pay this, you must pay this. But I know what their own team spent. And they make him. They are not telling him the truth. His lawyers bungled their case. And they don't want to tell the people. Yesterday, I heard that some people went to see Mr. President. Pandem. Yes. It's the worst organization anybody can rely on. I used to tell my father, I said, Dad, I go to him. I'm disappointed with this. If you continue with this, I'm not going to support you. I will not be a party to it. If you have a father who is always interested in money, he can sell his child or his children. All these leaders, look at the comments they have made. Mr. President intervened in this matter. Mr. President intervened. I'm not talking about Vice President. Mr. President intervened. Vice President was there. National Security Advisor was there. National Security Advisor signed for implementation of peace. This same Pandef came out and said, Mr. President has no right. They took Mr. President to court. People like Chief Saraibe, one of the worst persons you can ever think of. One of the merchants, political merchants, Data Smith, whom I respected, went to government house. Look at the statement he made. I'm an Ijaw man. You're an Ijaw man. Call us. We'll be with you. An elder statesman would go and make such a statement. Now you are the same person coming again now to go and meet Mr. President to intervene. Intervene what? Mr. President that has no right? Mr. President that he took to court? That he has no power to intervene? They took Mr. President to court. From the State High Court of River State, down to the Court of Appeal, they lost. Down to Supreme Court. Now people do things, you don't want to go back to let people know the correct thing. Now Supreme Court have given judgment. Now you are going to tell President to do what?
As we continue to examine the political chess game in Rivers State, let's look at the legislative power grab that backfired. Of course, that was FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, former governor of Rivers State, giving his own perspective to all the drama that has unfolded thus far. Now, Wike's assembly had been riding a power high, issuing a 48-hour ultimatum to Governor Similaye Fubara, demanding he submits a fresh list of commissioners and the 2025 budget. Now, they outreached, rejected the 19 commissioners he appointed, and claiming that they were not properly confirmed. But here's the problem. Fubara never officially received their ultimatum. At least that's the story he has put out there. And that's the position he claims. Meanwhile, Speaker Ama Mwele and his lawmakers, feeling invincible, summoned the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission chairman to explain why he dared to conduct an election that the Supreme Court had nullified. Their strategy was to clearly strip Fubara of all authority and reduce him to a mere figurehead governor. But guess what? Fubara, a true son of Port Harcourt, wasn't about to roll over. His commissioners struck back, dragging the battle into the Rivers State High Court. They argued that the Assembly had no power to overturn their appointments. The irony is that while Wike weaponized the judiciary in Abuja, Fubara turned the judiciary in Port Harcourt against Wike's lawmakers. The court didn't just grant the commissioners permission to serve the lawsuit, it ordered them to paste the legal notice on the gates of the assembly quarters. Now picture the scenario. The Amu Huele and his crew walking into the premises of the assembly quarters only to see court documents slapped on their walls like house for rent posters in Ajegunle. Now, the lawmakers thought this would be a stroll in the park, but on the contrary, this is it has turned out to be a game of political survival. Well, Wike didn't talk about Pandef and several other groups in the Niger Delta that have taken positions, varied positions with regards to development, the current developments in Rivers State. In the last 24 hours, a video has been making the rounds of the leader of the Ijaw National Congress, INC, reacting and responding to some of the comments made by the former governor of Rivers State, now FCT minister. Let's see that video.
We watched Wike insult Ijaw people, that will not make us have any issue with Ikwere people. We have them as friends. We respect their views. We respect their disposition. We know this man is just a fight alone, fighting the last fight. That is why he's amassing so much energy, putting everything into play, insulting everybody, trying to bring down anything. As a drowning man, he's drowning. Wike had dared us. Some years ago, he said, thunder, fire, Ijaw. I will send thunder to him. Because Ijaw nation knows the origin of the spirit of thunder. Since that time, we sent thunder to Wike. Look at him. Look at his physique. Does he look the same? Thunder is tormenting Wike now as we speak. The thunder is sent to us. We have sent it back to him. And it's tormenting him seriously. Let him send another team. I will send back to sender. We are a peace-loving people. Where were the grandfathers of Wike when Ijaw elders fought for the independence of Rivers State? President Tinubu has the choice to choose between Wike and Ijaw nation. Let him be encouraging him to mess up himself in the public. Let him encourage him to be insulting people. But should the otherwise happen, they should not hold the leadership of Ijaw nation responsible. And that is why he wants as many structures as possible to fall and die with him. We shall help him. He's frustrated and getting so desperate because the political economy of Rivers State is slipping off. Wike will not win. Government is not about individuals. One person cannot be more powerful than an institution. That is the statement we are making. We have not seen any error or crime committed by sin. And as his true son of Ijaw nation, the INC shall apply every legitimate effort to support and defend our son. We have told Simlaye, follow the path of peace, be respectful. Don't behave like Wike, who will not even respect somebody like Paklak. Somebody who just died, and you are referring to Paklak as if it's his mate. Paklak should be Wike's grandfather. And when a man does not have respect for elderly people, you know that he has gone bananas. Somebody who has not turned into an ancestor, you are casually referring to Paklak. Let society judge who is towing the path of peace.
Reaction of the leader of the Ijaw National Congress, Benjamin, to the Minister of the FCT and former Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike's comments, of course, on recent developments in Rivers State. According to Benjamin, he claimed that Wike's actions revealed a sense of desperation, a last gasp attempt to cling to power as his support slips away. And in his words, and I quote, Wike is drowning. Don't sink with him. Well, if you're just tuned in, this is Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show, Korero. And we are looking at the latest developments in Rivers State. The show is live and interactive, as always, and we implore you to engage our social media platforms with your reactions, comments, and contributions. And don't forget to follow and like Rapid TV on all our social media platforms. Our official handle is @official Rapid TV, and you can also take advantage of our WhatsApp portal, and the number is on the screen. Of course, on today's edition of Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show, Korero, we are taking a closer look at the ongoing political chess game in Rivers State. We're examining the Supreme Court. Of course, if you watch yesterday's edition, I gave you an in-depth breakdown of the Supreme Court judgment. And of course, we're also looking at Fubara's counterattack and Nigeria's looming democratic crisis as a result of all that is going on. While we are focusing on River State, let's not forget, similar drama is unfolding in Lagos State, where there is ongoing battle in the Lagos State House of Assembly. Just barely 48 hours ago, members of the State House of Assembly were here in Abuja to meet with Mr. President, all in a bid to try to find a lasting solution to the power tussle, the political chess game that is unfolding in all of the states. Now, to the budget stalemate of River State. A governor trapped, a legislature stuck. With legal documents flying all over the place, the 2025 budget presentation has become almost an impossible mission. Even though, as of this morning, reports are making the rounds that Governor Similaye Fubara has again written to the State Assembly that he is ready to present the 2025 budget. He wrote the first time, and yet he met locked gates, and he has written a second time. Maybe this time they will build a wall to completely fence him out from the National Assembly. I beg your pardon, the State Assembly. Anyway, the Assembly, talking about the River State House of Assembly, had ordered Fubara to submit the budget, but now, can he, with all that has transpired all through this week? His finance commissioner, Emmanuel Frank Fubara, can't process it because the state court froze all actions related to the commissioners. Wike's lawmakers want to force Fubara's hand, but now they are stuck too. They themselves are stuck. No budget, no governance, just a legal deadlock. The Supreme Court may have stamped authority on Wike's assembly, but the state court has effectively locked down the state's treasury. So, this is where things get even funnier. The Supreme Court backed Wike's team, but Fubara now has home advantage, local referees calling the shots. The political game is now being played on two courts. The Federal High Court, the Federal Court, Supreme Court as the case is, where Wike probably thought he had neutralized Similaye Fubara. Then you have the State Court, which is the River State Judiciary, where Fubara just checkmated Wike's lawmakers. Wike may have thought controlling Abuja was enough, but politics isn't just about who runs the capital. It's also about who owns the street back home. Rather than fold, Fubara has turned the River State legal system into his political shield. So, for political watchers like myself, the question is, what happens next? Well, some have suggested that probably it will be the political end game. Maybe, just maybe. Will Wike rush back to the Supreme Court looking for another ruling? Will he search for an Abuja judge to perform one more legal miracle? Well, sorry, but that might not work this time. Abuja courts have no jurisdiction over state matters. Fubara has dug in like a Niger Delta militant preparing for government amnesty negotiations. The state judiciary is now his first line of defense. The lawmakers can ignore the lawsuit all they want, but the reality is pretty clear. The budget presentation is stalled. The governor still has control over the treasury. The judiciary is now a political battleground. Wike probably thought the Supreme Court sealed the deal, but Fubara just proved that governance isn't won in courtrooms alone. This drama is far from over. Niger people, let me use local palace. I beg me to grab una popcorn, zobo, and suya, because this one is going to be a long battle. Anyway, don't forget that one particular thing still lingers, and that just might be the ace or the joker, as the case may be for Fubara. The fact that the lawmakers defected, even though they have denied. Yesterday, the suggestion was that even in the wake of their denial that they did not defect, and with substantive evidence to show that they defected, even that in itself suggests some form of perjury, and that probably the Supreme Court may have shot itself in the foot by endorsing these 27 lawmakers. Let's remind ourselves of who these lawmakers truly are.
"27 of us in the State House of Assembly never defected to any other party. We were elected under the platform of the People's Democratic Party, and we never defected. We never took any step to defect to any other party."
They are members of the All Progressive Congress, and by that very fact, I am their chairman, and so they are within my presence of authority. They are under my presence. They are under the umbrella called, or the broom, or whatever, because maybe we won't be given to speak English. Oh, it's the umbrella, now they will think we are talking about PDP. They are under the broom called APC. And if they are under the broom called APC, I am in charge.
Some days ago, we defected inside the hallowed chamber of the River State House of Assembly in line with Section 109 of the 1999 Constitution as altered. We made sure that we followed due process. We made sure that we did not do anything outside provisions of the 1999 Constitution.
The undue pressure on the judiciary by politicians has given the citadel of justice a bad image and making it lose the confidence of the people of Nigeria. A case easily cited is the River State crisis, which raised the fear that the judiciary may ultimately undermine democracy. In that case, 27 former members of the River State House of Assembly announced their defection from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, the platform on which they were elected, to the All Progressives Congress, APC. In their letters of resignation from the PDP, the 27 Assembly members cited a division in the PDP as the reason for their decision.
Distinguished colleagues, the reason for the defection by the 27 members of this House are purely in line with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution as altered, specifically Section 109. And the House has already before this time deliberated on all the issues in the PDP, and we feel there is sufficient division, and for that reason, members have the choice to move to the All Progressive Congress as already indicated in these letters.
In a bold step to reaffirm their defection, the former lawmakers swore an affidavit before the Federal High Court in Abuja to prove their earlier defection on the floor of the Assembly. This is conclusive evidence of their decampment and perjury in view of their futile efforts to deny it after realizing the damage of their action. Speaker of the River State House of Assembly, Edison Ehie, as he then was, followed the constitutional path to declare their seats vacant and conveyed to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, the need to conduct by-elections to fill the vacated seats.
We are aware that there is no division or crisis in our great party, the People's Democratic Party, and therefore the provision of Section 109, Sub 1, Paragraph G of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended attracts the vacation of the seats of these members of the House. Consequently, distinguished colleagues, the House, having deliberated formally on the motion before it in line with our standing order and the Constitution of 1999 of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, I hereby declare the seats of affected members of the Universal Assembly vacant.
Their defection was further confirmed by a statement credited to President Bola Tinubu during his intervention in the Rivers crisis. One of the points raised in the peace brokered between Wike and Fubara by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was protecting their new status as APC members. Paragraph 3 of the agreement reads, "The leadership of the River State House of Assembly is led by Right Honorable Martin Amehule shall be recognized alongside the 27 members who resigned from the PDP." The instructive words in that paragraph state, "The 27 members who resigned from the PDP." There is evidential proof that the defected lawmakers attended an APC rally at the Port Harcourt Polo Club, where they were officially received and welcomed into their new party.
We have 27 members of the River State House of Assembly that defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress APC. 27 of us. Our assembly members that have defected to us, 27 of them, they are free to meet anywhere.
With this broom, which is the symbol of our party, that we shall sweep River State. Yes. So that River State shall be greater.
Still Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show, Korero. Today on the show, we are taking a closer look at the ongoing political chess game in Rivers State, the Supreme Court, Fubara's counterattack, and of course, Nigeria's looming democratic crisis. So, now to the big picture, which suggests that Nigeria's democracy is at a crossroads. Beyond the political fireworks, Rivers State exposes a deeper Nigerian crisis, the rule of man over the rule of law. Every institution in this battle, whether the Supreme Court, the Rivers State Judiciary, the House of Assembly, or the Governor's Office, has been dragged into a game of power and not governance. Take note, a game of power. You could say power tussle, as is used in the local palace, but not governance. So, the big question remains, where is democracy in all of this? Nigeria must realize that a politicized judiciary, a compromised legislature, and a self-serving politicians do not strengthen democracy. Instead, they destroy it. When institutions serve personal ambitions rather than the people, governance becomes a battlefield for political godfathers. This is why states like Rivers remain stuck in political struggles instead of real development. Now, to wrap up today's edition of the show, to move forward, Nigeria must demand the following: a truly independent judiciary, not one that swings in favor of the highest bidder. 2, a legislature that serves the people, not a rubber stamp for political bosses. And 3, an executive that governs, not just survives. Power struggles should not come before good governance. Now, until we remove the rule of man and embrace the rule of law, Nigeria's democracy will remain a fragile joke. The lesson from Rivers is simple. Political godfatherism will always clash with democratic governance. But the real question remains, will Nigeria ever break free from this phenomenon? Well, like the poets and writers will say, only time will tell. And that sums it up for today's edition of Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show, Korero. As always, we promise to keep our ears to the ground and our searchlight beamed on developments in Rivers, in Lagos, and even in Osun State. Yes, Osun State, where a whole lot is happening. And one begins to wonder, in the build-up to 2027, only God knows what the eventual turn of events will look like, and of course what it will be like. Well, we will do our bit by keeping you up to speed and bringing you up to speed as those developments evolve. Already, political watchers are already trying to anticipate the moves of the political players in this political chess game. As always, we will do our bit to help you understand how the political players are playing the political chess game and what the view and positions of political watchers is at every point in time. Till we come your way with another incisive edition of the show, I am Nkamian John the Beloved, also known as the Controversial, signing out.